Hey everybody, Bryce and Andrew here again from Open Seas. We're going to be brewing a Chemex with you all. For a Chemex, you are going to want to use a medium coarse ground. It is still fairly coarse, but a little bit finer than you use for a French press. This beauty here is a Chemex, and one of the things we like about a Chemex is it has these big thick paper filters. I think that's one of the biggest differences between a Chemex and many of the other pour over methods. That big filter really adds a lot of clarity to the cup of coffee. It really helps clean up the cup as it goes and adds a lot of articulation. So the first thing we're going to do with the Chemex is we're going to pre-soak the filter. That both gets any kind of residual paper type of notes out of the filter itself and pre-warms the brewer all at once. We used 42 grams of coffee. This is a wash Rwanda from the Kakamu Cooperative. And Andrew just emptied out all that water. You want to make sure you don't leave that in there. Easy to forget. And so we're going to be doing 42 grams of coffee, shaking it flat, turning on our scale, zeroing it out, and starting it up. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to work to saturate all the grounds, and we're going to give it a little bit of a bloom. What that does is it helps the water saturate the coffee. It helps let any gases there off gas, so that as we add the full volume of water, it is connecting between the coffee itself and the water instead of the gases getting in the way and impeding extraction. We're going to let that bloom for 30 seconds. And then we are going to pour. We're going to pour in a circular motion to do two things. It agitates the coffee. It helps more evenly saturate it, so you're not getting clumps. You're not going to have any dry spots or anything like that. And there's a lot of opinions on how to brew. A lot of validity to many of them, but we're going to talk to you about what we're doing and why. We keep a lot of focus on the outside of the filter as we're pouring. One of the main goals there is we're going to try to keep it even here. We brewed to about 350 in the beginning, but then once we got it up to that point, we're going to work to just keep it fairly even the rest of the brew. So we're starting around the side there. We want to wash all of that coffee back down into the middle, so you're not having some granules, some particles more saturated than another. And then we're just going to kind of go from the outside, go back to the middle, and we're going to keep doing that. We're going to pour all the way to, our end goal is 680 grams. So we're going to just keep the same process up regularly as we go. Little pours. This helps keep all the coffee saturated, the extraction there even. You're not getting some parts that are over extracting and other parts under extracting. What we're doing is we're letting that continue to go down and drip down into the base of the brewer. It's a little bit hard to see, but we got a solid stream of coffee going through there. It's not dripping too much. It's continually going. And we're getting close there. And what we're doing now is we're just trying to keep anything that would get stuck up on the sides. It's going as it's dripping through. We're rinsing back into the middle, so everything is getting evenly extracted once again. With a Chemex, because of that thick filter, because it cleans up, this is gonna give you two 12-ounce cups of coffee at the end. And because you're getting so clean there through that filter and you're doing a coarser grind, we're a little more comfortable with a longer brew time than you would for many other pour over methods. We hit our goal there, 680. And now we're letting it go through. The goal here really, depending on your water and the coffee you're using, but you're looking for anywhere from 3 to 4.5 minutes, even occasionally up to 5 depending on the coffee, but we're looking more for that 3.5 to 4 range. So you can see we're We're getting through there. And on the bottom here, one thing that's really important is as soon as it starts to drip, you want to remove that filter. The reason being, that means you're out of proper extraction area and you're starting to over extract the coffee. So as soon as it starts to drip through that filter in the bottom, it's time to pull the filter, even if there's a little bit of water up in the top. It's also a gauge of your grind setting. Like we said, we're looking for 3.5 to 4.5 minutes. So if you get to a spot where it's slowing down and clogging up before you get there, you know, your grind size is a little too fine. You want to coarsen it up, get those granules a little bit bigger. Same way, if it's going through in 2 minutes, you know, you're a little bit too coarse. You want to fine it up and let it extract a little bit more of those notes. And this is a Chemex brewer. So give it a little bit of a rinse and pour. Enjoy. Thanks for tuning in.